Hello, everybody, and I'm back for our last round of holiday designing before Toy Day. I've got a few different ones I'm planning on doing today, and the first one is going to be some. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Keep doing that. It's something I wanted to do for Diwali, which is a holiday celebrated in India, and it's called the Festival of Lights. Um, and my son was learning about it in school actually, and I got a little inspired listening to his teacher talk about it. So I'm gonna try to freehand something here that I think is gonna look super cool. Let's see if I can actually pull it off. If I can't, that happens. Um, we'll see what I can do. Anyway, first things first, we made a purple, and now we're going to need a dark green for the bottom part of this. Okay, so now, like what I said, I don't like how that needs to be darker. So Diwali is the festival of lights, and when I think of festivals and lights, I think of the movie Tangled. So I'm gonna try to make my own kind of version of a Diwali festival. So what I'm gonna do is make little lanterns kind of floating in the sky here of various colors. Um, because they celebrate often by lighting like candles or lights or whatever. But here in this image here, we're gonna have the lanterns floating, those floating kind of lanterns, um, up in the sky here. We're gonna have them kind of originating from down here. And so those are our lanterns, and then I'm gonna make the purple actually a little bit darker because I want it to be kind of like a night sky. So we're gonna go shift it a little bit darker. There we go. And then what I'm gonna do after that is I'm gonna try to freehand kind of like a Taj Mahal sort of thing over here. Actually, that probably should be white. There we go. So that's gonna be like kind of like the Taj Mahal. So you know it's India. I'll put a little bit of a door there in the center. And there you go. You're gonna have your celebration of lights up in the sky here as they are carried away by the wind. Kind of like that. So that's what our front's gonna look like. On the back, we're gonna try to match what we did on the front. So where we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up there. So we're gonna do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll make that there. And we're just going to basically try to match and just have more of these floating lights in the background on the back. Now, I understand this is a pretty crude understanding of what Diwali really means. It's a very important holiday for people in India, people who are Hindu. I don't want to try to trivialize what this holiday means religiously to these people. But I figured if we're doing an Animal Crossing sort of thing and we're trying to make tribute to Diwali, I would focus more on the light aspect of it than on the um, the religious aspect because I'm not as well versed in that. So this one first we're gonna call Diwali. So there we go. There's our first one. So there's our Diwali hoodie or sweater. Next up that I wanted to do, this one doesn't necessarily have a holiday coming up in December, but I wanted to be as inclusive as I could. And this is a game made in Japan, and so one of the major religions to come from Japan was Shinto. And so what I'm gonna do is they have these very if you saw one, you know what I was talking about, these arches. Okay, so we're gonna start making this. Gonna make it a little bit thicker. There we go. Okay, so there we go. And then on top, they've got the black part here. Gotta remember which way. Nope. Wow. Let's try it like this, then I'll make it right. There we go. They have these arches that look kind of like this, and so that's what I'm trying to make here. We're gonna make a nice little. There we go, like that. If you've ever kind of seen anything Japanese, or there's always something like this around here, around there. So we're gonna make something to celebrate that. There's usually a nice little thing around it, and we're gonna make kind of a nice little garden design around it. Put it on a hill. There we go, and then we're just gonna put some steps in. There we go, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna make each of these top parts here. Nope. There we go, and then we're gonna make this white a slightly lighter gray, so that we can fill these, make them look like steps. Oops. There we go, and then we're gonna make the sky, we'll make it blue. So there we go, there's our Shinto arch. So we're gonna have that one in there. Okay, so let's name that one real quick. All right, and so then the next one we're gonna move on to is a Celtic knot. Let me find it here, there we go. All right, so the Celtic knot, I think we're gonna put that one also on a hat. We're gonna be doing the more traditional I think of it as traditional. Um, Kind of a triple sort of knot sort of thing. Yeah, you'll see what I mean when I start making it. Okay, let's see here. So yeah, when I think of a Celtic knot, this is what I usually think of. And maybe your view of it might be different. There are lots of different types of Celtic knots, obviously. But this is my favorite one. So this is the one I'm gonna do. But you can clearly do whichever one you think is the one that you would prefer. Um, so it's gonna be kind of like this. I think you can kind of start to see where I'm going with it already. There we go. Up one, and then here's the very top of our knot. Okay. There we go. Now remember, if you want to do this, all I did was go on Google and search Celtic knot, and this is one of the images that popped up. Or I searched Celtic knot perler beads. Remember, perler beads are those little plastic beads that you make designs with, and then you iron them together. It's amazing what people have done with these already, and there's no point in reinventing the wheel if you don't have to, especially when, oops, they're so good at it already. It's not like you're selling the content, right? So it's nice for your own personal Animal Crossing use. At least that's what I use it for. So I can have these cool designs. Now, it's clearly kind of in a weird spot on the hat right now. That's okay. We're going to move it afterwards. But for right now, while we're just making it, we'll leave it where it is so we don't get confused. And then we can shift it to where it makes more sense in a little bit. There we go, making that part. Now we're right here, so we'll go up to that. This is the complex part right here in the center where you're making the rest of the knot, basically. There we go. The knot, the actual knot part. The inner part was not so hard, or the outer part was not so hard. The actual knot making is a little bit more difficult. There we go. Now you can really start to see the shape coming in. That's good. It's starting to look really nice. Oh no. My controller is running out of battery, and I didn't quite make it. How did that happen? Did I go one too many over? I did. All right, well, time to fix that real quick. Can't do things without making mistakes. It's part of the game. All right, here we go. Try again. There we go. That's looking much better. All right, and then from this edge here, we're going 2 over, then down, and we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up, and then over, and then 2 up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So there's our knot. We've made it. It looks good. Now what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to get some greens for okay, so there's our light green, and we need a dark green and kind of a medium green. So this is going to be our light green. We've got our dark green already, and then we're going to make a kind of medium green. Perfect. All right. So now we're just going to kind of color in basically where we want our greens to be, so we have a kind of a good idea of what's going where. Oops, back, hit the black part, we didn't want to do that. Okay, and then we're gonna go up to about here. Perfect. And then we're gonna go right here, it looks like. Make the outline there, down to about here. There we go. We'll go to the other side over here. On our way, we'll stop down here. There we go. And then here, we'll go like that. And we'll go all the way to over here. And let's see, we got here. And right there. Okay, so now we're going to fill in the medium green. This is the dark green. Oops. Oh well. So dark green's going to go here. There we go. And then the rest, oops, is our super light green. And there's our knot. So now what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm just gonna move it up on the hat so it looks more like the knot that we're accustomed to. I don't want to stretch it out too much. And then the Celtic knot is definitely more associated with Ireland than with anything else, probably. So I'm going to have the background be an orange color. I think that's going to fit with it really nicely. It's going to highlight it a little bit. And then, because it's winter, we're going to have some snowflakes. And I do snowflakes just by making Same way I do stars, I make little pluses. And that usually does the trick for snow. There we go. That looks like a hat to me. Okay, so we'll name this one the Celtic Knot. Oops, one too far over there. Awesome. So that's more of a pagan symbol. And now we're just going to go back to our more traditional Christmassy side of things. So the first one we're going to do that's more of a traditional Christmas is a Santa. We haven't done a Santa yet, so I figured now would be a good time to do that. Okay, we're going to put Santa on a baseball hat. All right, we can't open this file. Piffed. All right, well, we'll do it this way then. So we're going to start off with some black for Santa's feet here. He's going to be, let's see here, there's a 2-spot gap. So 1, 2, 3, and I'm actually going to turn this on so I can have it match, make it easier for myself. Then we need to switch to red. So red is going to go to here and there. Perfect. All right, now I don't need that on anymore, so I'm going to take that part off. There we go. So there's the start of our Santa Claus here. And we're just going to go up literally like one row at a time. That seems to be the easiest way to do it here. So we're going to do black. This is basically his belt. Okay, and then we're going to do some red here. That's going to be the outline of his sleeves. Do the same thing on this side. There we go. We've got red there. We need kind of a fainter orange for a skin color. So we're going to make that more skin tony. There we go. That looks like a skin tone. Especially for a guy who lives in the Arctic. There we go. All right, and then we'll come back over to this side. We'll do the same thing. There we have it. All right, and then for his face, we've got 1, 2, 3. We're gonna skip a spot for his eyes. Okay, he's got rosy cheeks generally, so let's get the pink color we're looking for cheeks. Well, we want a pink though. A lot lighter, not too light. There we go. So that'll be his rosy pink cheek color right there. And then here we're gonna have his eyes. We can already see our Santa Claus coming to life here. Now we need to go up 2, and we can start making his hat. His hat is only going to go 1 over from his eyes. My bad. That part. And then we got to go 4 across here, and then there'll be 2 whites on top. Now, so that we can do the background, we're going to need to make a border around our Santa Claus. So we're going to do that real quick. Make sure that everything we want there is covered. Okay, so he's gonna be 1 out, another one, down to the thumb. We're going to surround his hand here. Now we're going to change this in a second here. We just want to make sure that we get this white that we want trapped in here. Oops, I went too far in. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll quickly change our background color. We'll make it a blue. Perfect. Okay, and now we can get rid of that outline by slowly but surely retracing over the black line we put around. And that'll let us have Santa without the outline. And there we go. We're almost done outlining him here. And there we go. We've got Santa on a hat. We've got him there. Now, for the brim, I'm not going to do anything too fancy. I think it would just be nice to maybe make it like a lighter blue. And then for the back. And now for the actual brim, I figured it'd be fun to have Santa written on it. So we're going to try to spell Santa. Okay, we're going to center this now that we've got it started on the brim. There we go. Now we'll be able to fit the rest of it in there. No problem. So we've got Santa. You're going to want to try to write with block letters. It's just the easiest way to do it when you're writing words on something in Animal Crossing. Okay. 3, 4. And you want to try to keep them the same length and width for everything. So for this one, I chose the width to be 4, and then there's a 2 space in between each one. So I'm going to try to stick with that. And there we go. We've got Santa. And now after that, we can rearrange it just a little bit more so it's more centered. That's actually pretty good the way it is. What I am going to do, though, is the T looks weird with it being extra thick on the bottom here. So I'm just going to pick a side and make it just one like that. That'll have to do. We'll make it just a little bit wider on the end here. We'll break our rule. There we go. That looks great. Now we've got a Santa hat. So we'll save that one too. Yes, I know my battery's low. We're going to make it all the way, or I'll just end up going and grabbing a second controller in a bit here. So there's our Santa hat. Our next one here, we're gonna do this cool perler bead design I found, or a couple actually. The first one, oh, did I only make one more spot? I did. That's okay. We're gonna get rid of this one too then. Or no, I can get rid of the, yeah, I can get rid of the mistletoe hat. All right, so for 6 here, we're gonna make a hat with a raccoon on it wearing a Christmas hat. It looks pretty cute. I think it will, at least. So we'll switch over to hat here. We'll make it a knit cap. And once again, okay, this one we're gonna have to do pretty carefully here. And what I'm gonna do this time that I didn't do last time is I'm gonna fill the whole hat to be a different color than the ones I'm gonna be using. So we're gonna go with this light blue. And now it'll be easier for me to do colors like white, which is going to be necessary in this design here, without having to deal with like the outline and stuff. And we're going to need a light gray as well. So I'm going to make a light gray really fast, so we're prepared for that. Perfect. All right. So now we're ready to go, and we're going to start near the bottom here, of course, and we're going to start with a dark gray. So we've got one, and we're going to have a gap in between each one, and those are going to be filled with black. So that's going to be our first row there. Okay. Next up, we're going to go back to dark gray, and we're going to go up 1, 2, and do the same thing almost on the next side, and then fill the rest of the line in with our light gray. Okay. Now we're going to keep going up for a little bit with our light gray to kind of make the belly of this thing. And then we're going to go over this many, come down, and that's going to be our belly of our raccoon. So we got that part down. Now we're going to fill around the outside with the dark gray that we've got. And then we'll go over to the other side. Got dark gray, dark gray, dark gray. We're going to need a little bit of black right there. Then we're going to switch back to light gray. Perfect. We're basically just making his tail right now. You can already start to see the raccoon take shape. There we go. So there's his tail. And now we're going to go back down, and we're going to start doing his scarf. So he's going to be wearing like a candy cane scarf. And sorry about that, folks. I had some technical difficulties, but we're back and we are ready to finish our raccoon. So what we're going to do is we're going to make his, like I said, candy cane scarf here just by alternating white right there like that, and then for the other parts filling it in with red like that. Perfect. So there's his scarf. Then we're going to go back to our grays to kind of fill in his neck here so that he looks like he's still a raccoon. And now we're going to do his face. So we're going to start by going over one and getting his head in here. That's the whole way. We're going to do that, leave a spot for his eyes and his nose. There we go. How does that not look right? We should have it. Oh, that's because I didn't go far enough down here. That would be why. Oops. There we go. And now, there we go. Now it looks the way I know it's supposed to look. Okay, so there's an eye there and an eye there. And then we're going to switch back to our light gray for the top part here. We're going to do a 3. like that. And then we're going to start making his hat. So on the top, we're going to do one all the way over like that. And we'll just fill in the rest with his gray, light gray color. And then on top of that, of course, we've got the red for the Santa hat. So we're going to go in one more dot. And then, oops. There we go. 3, and then we'll go 2, like that. And then we'll have our white fluff ball on top. And so there is our winter raccoon there, dressed up, all cuddled up for the cold, because it's holiday time. Okay, and then to go along with the season, we're gonna make some snow on the hat. We're gonna get a lot of snow on a lot of these kind of hats here, because that's just a simple design. It adds a lot to the hat, makes it a nice little detail. And it's just gonna be a nice little soft flurry, nothing too crazy snow wise. There we go. Just kind of put them throughout as much as you want. I'm just gonna do that. And then finally, I'm gonna give him something to stand on. So I'm gonna give him ground to stand on here. There we go. There's the snow that will be on the bottom of the hat. Fill that in, and there he is. And there's our raccoon. Looking good. So we've got our, we'll call him Santa Coon. There we go. And then the final one I was gonna do is kind of a cool little mouse in a stocking sort of thing. I think it looks really cute. And we are going to get rid of, I need to get rid of one of these for that to happen. I'll get rid of, well, yeah, we'll get rid of the mistletoe hat for that. Okay. So I'm going to actually put this on a sweater. So what we're going to do real quick is we're going to do some fill-alling here. Get rid of our design that we have left over from our mistletoe hat. And now we're back in the front where we need to be. And so we're going to start off by, once again, because this mouse is going to be white, we are going to pick another color for the background of this. For this one, because there's no red in the design, I'm going to make it red. We're going to put red on the background. We'll do yellow for the sleeves, keep it in the festive holiday cheer. All right, so now we're going to start off with the stocking that this mouse is going to be hanging out in on this hoodie. Okay, so there we go. We've got 5. And we're going to start making our stocking here. All right. Sounds like Cam's playing pretend upstairs, if you can hear that. He's got Mom in on the action. Okay, we've got this one. So I'm just going to fill in the stocking part here. How many we got here? 4 like that. So I need one more. And then it's going to expand a level. Then we're going to have a white line here that I can do right now. And then we'll go back to green, like that. All right, and then above that's going to be our mouse. But before we do that, I'm going to go back and finish the design on our stocking here. So we're going to go down to the very first level here. We're going to move over 1, make a dot, go over 1, make the bottom of our snowflake here. And we're gonna finish that part off like that. And then we're gonna go 2 up like that. And we're gonna make our snowflake there. Very simple snowflake. And now we're gonna go back up and we're gonna finish our mouse. So let's do that by starting off. This is gonna be the bottom of its face. And we're gonna need a pink, and that's not quite as light of a pink as we want. So we are gonna actually go up and go all the way over to the pinkish area here. And we're gonna make it we're gonna make it a dark pink. I'm gonna take some artistic liberties and make it a little bit darker than they have it on the thing that I'm following here. There we go. So that's the bottom part of our mouse here. Then we're gonna move in 1, make a spot for the eyes, like that. And we'll quickly fill those in. They'll be black like that. And then we're going to move up. And so we're going to be going out from here because we have to make his ears. Okay, let's see. All right, you can probably 100% hear my son yelling ice cream up there. All right, and now we're filling in our mouse here. And there he is. He's in a stocking. He looks fantastic. We'll put him right centerpiece in there. Perfect. All right, so there's our mouse in a stocking on the front of our sweater. And now on the back, I figure we could do a different design. And for this one, I found a penguin. And so I think a penguin would be a solid choice here. And then for his earmuffs, they're originally red in the picture, but we're gonna make them a different color for this one because once again, it's my design. I can do what I want with it. Okay, so we've got the bottom of our penguin right here, hanging out. We're gonna do 2 over on the side here, then do a 3 over, do that again. I'm gonna really quickly trace so I have it on both sides like that. Perfect, because we want it to match. And then we're gonna do a 2. Perfect. All right. There we go. We wanted a thing of 3 in the center there for his belly. So we're gonna do that real quick. There's our center part. Now for the next part, our penguin's gonna be wearing a scarf. And because it's cold out, we're gonna be sticking with dark blue here. How did I mess that up? There we go. Now it looks right. There we go. All right, blue scarf. So we're gonna stick with the same level here. All right, there's our scarf. Now we'll shift black over to black. And we're gonna use black again to outline the rest of our penguin here. There's our penguin. We'll put his eyes in here. There's his forehead. We're gonna go back over to orange real quick and make his beak 1, 2, 3, and there. And then we'll fill him in. There's our penguin, looking good. And we're gonna make him some matching earmuffs to go with his scarf. So we're gonna go here, make our earmuffs look like that. And we're just gonna follow the outline of his head until we get to the top here. Go all the way across. And there we have it. We've got earmuffs for our penguin friend. He's hanging out on the back. We'll just align him in the center real quick. There he goes. He looks great. We've got our yellow sleeves. Overall, it looks fantastic. So now we're going to call this one Winter Animals. Or just winter, that'll work. All right. So we've made 6 new designs in this video, and I'm gonna get them up here on the thing right now so you can enjoy them once you're watching the video. So you won't have to worry about trying to track them down. They will already be ready to go. So let's head on over to the design portal. We've got a lot to post. All right, let's get posting. So our first design we did today was our Diwali sweater. Or is this a hoodie? It's a hoodie, a Diwali hoodie. And we're gonna post that one. Code will pop up in a second there. There it is. There's our Diwali code. Next up, we made a Shinto design on a hat. There it is. We're gonna post that one right now. There's the code. Any of you who want the Shinto arch. Next up after that, we made the Celtic knot. And that was also a hat as well. Looking good. It's a little oblong because it's on the hat, but that's okay. We'll post it anyway. There's our code for the Celtic knot. Next up, we got our more traditional wintry ones. We've got a Santa hat. This is just like a regular old brimmed hat. We'll post that one. Here is the code for the Santa hat. Looking good. Next up, we had our Racoon. Our Santa Coon. Well, he's a hat as well. We'll post that. Looking good. There's the code for that one. And then finally, we've got our last one, the last one we made, which was our animal one. We've got the stocking mouse, and then of course on the back, our penguin friend. So we'll post that one as well. Here is the code. This will be up on the portal so you can check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I hope that you use or this inspires you to make your own Christmas designs before Toy Day. Anyways, thank you so much again for watching. See you later.